Well, hello once again, fellow Star Trek fans. It's been a little while since I did the last video. We ended with shipment number 7 from the Eaglemoss Build the U.S.S collection. Well, today, I'd like to present you with shipment number 8. So, let me show you guys. I just got it from the post office. So without further ado, let's take it over to the model desk and I'll show you guys what it comes with. Okay, let's see what we get in this shipment. We get parts pack 27, 28, 29, and 30. In the Eaglemoss Build the Enterprise collection. So, you can see this is parts pack number 28. And it looks like we have some more BM screws, a couple of the escape pods, and it looks like we got a section of the dorsal hull, or the nacelle pylon. The saucer pylon. And we get another section of the primary hull. And I will open up and give you guys a complete closer look at all this. I'm just giving you guys a preview right now. Parts pack 29. We got more lights. Looks like more windows with more escape pods. And we got the clear windows and we got the dark windows. And we got another piece. I suspect there's going to be a lot of those coming to fill the upper part of the saucer pylon before we get the lower half going. Here's parts pack number 30. Lots more windows. And we got another section of the primary hull. And we've got another section of the dorsal hull, or saucer pylon. And you can see this is plastic. And this is parts pack number 27. And you can see we got some more windows. And interesting, they gave us another screwdriver with light EM screws and a couple of escape pods. And you can see another section of the saucer pylon, a primary hull, and whatever part that this is going to be. So, what else we have in here? And we got magazine issue number 8. Is that everything? That's everything in the box. So let's show you guys Star Trek The Next Generation, issue number 8. You can see another beautiful picture of the ship. And this issue, you can see I love going through the episode guides with you. And on the next page, we have the parts list. Stage 27 parts. We have the primary hull. And let's see, what is that? 27C is the battle section floor. And we have another screwdriver, 3mm screwdriver. Stage 28. You can see it's mostly hull, the primary and part of the secondary hull, and the dorsal pylon. You can see the parts list. Stage 29 takes us to even more primary hull sections. And one of the outer pieces, it looks like. More lights. And you can see the parts list. And for parts for stage 30 of the parts pack, you can see more hull. So that secondary hull or the saucer pylon will really start to come together. And there's the parts list. So now we're going to move on to the assembly. We'll start with stage 27. Start by illuminating more of the saucer section and then add a base to your battle section neck build. You can see the section for this build. And as usual, the key. Red is used for the screws, direction arrows, and connection points. Yellow is for the new parts in each step. Gray shows the old parts or what has already been assembled. And the blue shows the illuminated parts. And we move on to step A. You can see we're inserting more escape pods and windows. And they're going to be secured in the hull with BM screws, like they've been. So moving on to step C, you can see the addition of the lights. And then you can put the final screws in, and that will keep it secure. And like we've been doing, we're going to test the part and make sure it lights up, and you can see the section that'll light. So going on to step D, we have the battle section that we're going to be using, and you can see that's going to go on the floor, and that's going to be secured with BM screws. And you can see those two lights that we had sticking out. It shows you what to do with them. And that brings us to stage 28, the assembly. Add another section of your upper saucer assembly and get to grips with the key part of the battle section before you use it in a later stage. You can see again the parts that will be affected of the ship. And we're going to add windows and escape pods. You can see the reflective backing that's going to go on. And we're going to test it. Moving on to step B, you can see we're going to position the panel and put it in the ship. You can see where it's going to go. It's going to fill in that gap. And you can see, as usual, it's held in place with the BM screws. Moving on to stage 29, assembly. Discover windows with built-in reflectors as you continue to assemble a graceful neck section of your Galaxy-class starship. Step A, you can see the insertion of the escape pods and the lights. You can see the tape that's going to go on and keep it in place, and the addition of the screws when you put one of the lights in. And you can see we're going to test it as well. And moving on to step B, you can see again it's going to be the saucer pylon. You can see those extra lights that are going to come out the back or the side in the secondary hull or dorsal hull. Step B, we're going to put all that into place. Docking alignment light. And you can see that that's going to be held in place with AP screws and BM screws. And it brings us to the switch. To test the lights, turn the battle section switch to the on position and docking alignment. The blink should the other lights maintain a steady glow. So, You remember the two of the lights were blinking. Moving on to stage 30. At the end of this short stage, you'll have another light-up section of the saucer ready to be added to the upper skeleton at a later date. You can see the section of the ship that's going to be affected, or the build. Step A. Yep, more windows following the pattern. Then we have the backing, the reflective backing. You can note they only put in one light, and you can see where it gets tested to make sure it's working properly. So that brings brings us to one of my favorite sections, which is the behind the scenes episode information and goodies. This one is titled Where Silence Has Lease, episode 2.2, premiere November 28th, 1988. Trapped in a realm of infinite nothingness, the Enterprise becomes the experimental playground for a powerful being that wants to witness different forms of death. You see the picture on the bottom. Stuntman Jim Schultz was the first performer to portray this holographic skull monster. And I love the photographs. Winich Colby, in a checkered shirt, directs Brent Spiner and Charles Douglas on the bridge set. In his one appearance as Ensign Haskell, Douglas became the first Enterprise D red shirt killed off in Star Trek The Next Generation. We call them crewman Newman to go off and get killed, or the red shirts. The next episode is Elementary Dear Data. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm not really a fan of the holodeck, whether it's Picard as a private investigator or the detective with Data. And anyway, this is 2.3, premiered December 5th, 1988. On the holodeck, Geordi challenges the computer to create a Sherlock Holmes-style foe with the capacity to outwit Data. The result is a self-aware Professor Moriarty out to wreak havoc in the 21st century. Excuse me, the 24th century. And you can see a concept of the dockside London street, and the set was built to mirror image of this preliminary sketch. There's some more concept art. Self-made apparatus for controlling the Enterprise. Love those apparatus. And let's see, we got another photograph. Arkansas-born actor Daniel Davis adopted the impeccable British accent to play the holographic Moriarty. 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 And we have Brent Spiner as Mr. Data. Elementary, my dear Data. Data's interest in Sherlock Holmes and his methods was established in Season 1's Lonely Among Us. So, let's see. Look at Mr. Data, or Brent Spiner, The Outrageous O'Connor, episode 2.4, December 12th, 1988. When a light-hearted rogue wins friends on the Enterprise, Data tries his hand at comedy. You can see another photograph. William O. Billy Campbell as Thaddeum O'Connor. And let's see, we have another concept art. Two of Rick Steinbach's concept designs for the episode of Streleb, security vessel above and the guidance system from O'Connor's ship below. On screen, the Streleb ship differs in various ways from Steinbach's sketch. can see the concept art. And this episode is titled Loud as a Whisper. And this is episode 2.5. Premiered January 9th, 1989. When a famed mediator is stripped of his main method of communication, the Enterprise crew must help him to discover a new way to carry out much-needed peace talks. And we got another photograph. On set with Howie Seago standing left and one-time only Star Trek director Larry Shaw seated right. Got another photo. Dan Curry's hand-painted 18-inch skeleton isolated as part of the digital matte process. And that brings us to another episode, The Schizoid Man. Episode 2.6, premiered January 23rd, 1989. Data's mind is taken over by a dying scientist who sees the android as his passport to eternal youth and vitality. Vulcan Dr. Sellar, Susie Plaxton, is seen only in this episode, but referred to in several others. What do you guys think? Data looks pretty cool with a beard. Data's experiment with facial hair makes Wesley the only male regular never to wear a beard on Star Trek The Next Generation. Moving on, Unnatural Selection. Episode 2.7, which premiered January 30th, 1989. While investigating a disease that causes rapid aging, death, Dr. Pulaski becomes infected and quarantined with the other sufferers until the ingenious transporter-based cure is found. You guys remember the episode from the original series titled The Deadly Years, where the radiation sickness had caused all the crew, the landing party, to age rapidly. You can see Dr. Pulaski aged. Makeup supervisor Michael Westmore described himself as very happy with Deanna Muldar's aged appearance in this episode, having been dissatisfied with the equivalent effect in too short a season. And we have some more great photos. The shuttle base set pictured at the start of season 2 for Unnatural Selection. The yellow number 3 on the floor was inverted and a large moving door was installed in the undressed opening. This was one of my favorite episodes, A Matter of Honor. Episode 2.8 and premiered February 6, 1989. Riker volunteers as a stint as a first officer on a Klingon ship, unaware that his existence is threatened by a metal-eating bacteria on the hull. You guys remember when he's sitting down to eat with the Klingons in the mess hall, they give him gok, and it's live. And he wasn't expecting that, and they say, the Klingon officer says, gok is always best served live. And another one looks at Riker and says, if the Klingon food is too strong for you, perhaps we can get one of the females to breastfeed you. That's one of my favorite episodes. I love the Klingons. And we got Riker and Captain Picard. Jonathan Frakes and Patrick Stewart rehearse in a phaser range set. This high-tech target practice area appears in just one other episode, Season 5's Redemption 1. In which is used by Worf and Guinan. You see another picture of Jonathan Frakes. The between-take photos off some of the intricate details on the unusual low-lit Bird of Prey set. And that's everything in issue number 8. You see their website. So, let's move on And let's take a look at inside all of those wonderful parts packs. Okay, here's parts pack number 27. Here's the back. So we got plenty of windows on the Enterprise, guys. And we've got lots of clear. And we got dark moonlight windows. And we get another screwdriver. That's interesting because you guys remember, we still got the screwdriver from the first shipment. So we're probably going to need two at some point. And we got another set of lights. You can see the usual with two on one side and the alligator clip on the other. And with this comes a packet of EM screws. And it looks like we got a couple of shuttle pods, or escape pods. And in this section, we've got the plastic tray, and there's more BM screws. And nice, this is metal. So this section of the hull, and show you guys the I'm sure you can see the Aztecing. And this section is metal as well. And this is going to go onto the battle section, just under where the battle bridge is going to be. So that'll be fun. And that's metal as well. And that's everything in this parts pack number 27. Okay, that brings us to parts pack number 28. So let's see what's in this. A lot of stuff in this one. Okay, right off the bat, we've got another screws envelope, and this one is going to be with DM screws, and that's going to go with two escape pods. And the next one down, we've got more windows. Clear and dark. Looks like we got the same amount, 5 of each. And we've got another light. This time there's only one bulb on one end, and we got the usual alligator clip on the other. And yep, we got more BM screws. Pretty popular screw. That's probably the most common one that we use. And here's a reflective backing. You can see where the light bulb is going to go. Okay, so that's going to bring us to the first piece, or outer piece of the secondary hull. Look at that. Beautiful. Let me show you guys can see the Aztecing. Beautiful. And Lastly, in this section, or this parts pack, we've got another section of the primary hull. You can see where the escape pods are going to go and the lights. And again, I like to get the Aztecing viewable for you. Beautiful. So that's metal. And that's everything in parts pack number 28. And that brings us to parts pack number 29. Let's see what's on the back. Okay, and you can see a window section for the secondary hull. They've already blacked out the windows with the room lights that are going to be off. And that just kind of fits into the slots. And we've got the BM screws. And we've got two wires. We've got the dual LEDs on one side. And we've got the alligator clip on the other. And that one's longer than this one. This is the same thing. It's got two LEDs and it's got the alligator clip, but this one overall is a lot shorter. And we've got more escape pods in this one. And it looks like we have more lights as well. We've got two sections of the wire. We got the dual LEDs with the alligator clip. And it looks like the other one is the same length. So we got two identical ones. And the same alligator clip that's going to clip into the circuit board. And it looks like we've got more windows. You can see there's two panels of clear windows in this one. Alright, and it looks like we got some more screws. This is actually different. These are going to be AP screws. Of course, the last letter, P, which means it goes into plastic. And we have an envelope. It appears to be a light or a beacon, something that's going to be lit. Hopefully you can see that. Okay, in this section, it looks like we have more windows. But we got more screws as well. And this time, it's BP screws to go with one dark section of windows where the room lights will be off. Okay, and that brings us to the bottom piece. Looks like we have the stickers that are going to hold the escape pods in place while we screw the section into the primary hull skeleton. And we have another section of the hull, and this is actually plastic. And you can see the reflective panel is attached. You can show you guys the Aztecing. So that's the last section. So that's everything that's in issue parts pack number 29. And that brings us to parts pack number 30. You can see both sides. Now let's open this up. And in this section, we've got more windows. Think of the amount of windows that we're going to have put in when this model is finished. A tremendous amount of windows. And in the next section, we have more windows. These are the clear, or the room lights are going to be on. And we got another envelope of screws. This time they're BP. And we've got another section of the wire. We've got the end with 2 LEDs. And we've got the alligator clips that are going to go into the circuit board. And we have 2 sections of the hull, one of the primary, which is this one. And yeah, this one is plastic. And I want you guys to see the Aztecing. And you can see the reflector piece that's going to hold all the windows in place. And lastly, we got the other half, or the other section of the dorsal hull, or the saucer pylon, part of the secondary hull. And again, I want to get the Aztecing for you to see. Beautiful. And that's actually everything that's in parts pack 30. And that, my friends, is everything in shipment number 8. So I hope you enjoyed this video to show you what shipment number 8 comes with. And because I don't want the videos to run on forever, what I'll do is I do an introduction or unboxing video, and then I'll do the build video. So I'll see you guys with the build video of shipment 8 very, very soon. Thanks for watching.